Meet the finance expert, Harvard graduate, bank director. He spent his career telling other people how to manage their money. He had diplomas on the wall and charts on his desk. He knew the formulas, the models, everything you're supposed to know. And despite all of that, he still went bankrupt. Now meet a janitor, no finance degree, no Wall Street job. He spent his whole life sweeping floors for a living, and when he passed away, people were stunned to learn he'd quietly become a millionaire. So why did one end up broke and the other end up rich? It wasn't intelligence, it wasn't education. As it turns out, doing well with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. This is the central idea behind Morgan Housel's best-selling book, The Psychology of Money. It sold millions of copies by making one simple argument. Money is less about math and more about behavior. Today, we're breaking down 6 of its best lessons. Picture 2 investors staring at the exact same stock. One is thinking 30 years ahead, patiently building for retirement. The other is chasing a quick win, hoping to get rich by next week. They're looking at identical numbers on the same screen, but mentally they're playing 2 completely different games. And that's the trap. We often take financial advice from people who are playing a game nothing like our own. Bill Gates went to one of the only high schools in the world with a computer terminal students could actually use. His close friend, Kent Evans, was every bit as brilliant, but he died before graduation, before he ever got his shot. Every success story is tangled up with luck. Every failure carries risk. Respect both, always. You see a stranger drive by in a brand new sports car and assume they're rich, but that shiny car isn't wealth. More often, it's just debt with a paint job. Real wealth is invisible. It's the money that was never spent, the assets quietly sitting untouched. Think of wealth like an iceberg, where the flashy stuff you see above the surface is small. The real size of it is hidden underneath, where nobody's looking. Imagine a brilliant doctor who knows everything about the human body, but eats junk food every day and never exercises. Now imagine an average person with zero medical knowledge, who simply eats well and stays active. Who ends up healthier? Usually it's the second person. Money works exactly the same way. If you want to understand why people drown in debt, you don't need to study interest rates or spreadsheets. You need to study human nature, the greed, the insecurity, and the endless hope that tomorrow will somehow be different. Warren Buffett bought his very first stock at age 11. But here's the wild part. 99% of his entire fortune came after he turned 50. That's the power of compounding. It needs a small start, but it needs an enormous amount of time to really take off. Buffett's real superpower was never picking the perfect stock. It was simply refusing to stop investing for 80 straight years. Getting rich takes risk, big swings, bold bets, optimism. But staying rich takes the opposite: fear, humility, and a healthy respect for how easily it can all disappear. These 2 mindsets pull in opposite directions, and that contradiction is exactly why so many wealthy people end up losing it all. Engineers never build a bridge to hold exactly the weight it needs to. They always build in extra room, just in case something goes wrong. Do the same thing with your money. That safety margin is your best protection against bad luck. At a party, a billionaire once bragged to a novelist that he made more money in a single day than the writer had earned from his entire best-selling book. The novelist just smiled and said, "Maybe so, but I have something you'll never have. Enough." Knowing what enough means might be the most underrated skill in personal finance. Most people chase money hoping it'll buy them more stuff. But the real payoff of money isn't things, it's freedom. It's waking up and deciding how you spend your own time with nobody else calling the shots. Scroll through social media for 5 minutes and everyone looks rich. New cars, big houses, luxury vacations, but you never see what's happening behind that screen. The debt payments, the loans, the stress nobody posts about. Comparing your life to a curated highlight reel is a fast way to end up chasing someone else's problems. The real move is simple. Stop watching their game and go play your own. Sometimes the mathematically perfect financial decision isn't actually the smartest one. If a choice keeps you up at night worrying, it's not worth it, no matter what the spreadsheet says. Pick whatever choice lets you sleep peacefully. So let's recap what we've covered. Play your own game, respect both luck and risk. Remember that real wealth is invisible. Let compounding do the heavy lifting. Always leave room for error and know exactly what enough looks like for you. And here's the best part. Not one of these 6 lessons requires a college degree. So here's your first step. Today, set up an automatic transfer that moves a small percentage of your paycheck straight into savings before you even see it. That small habit is the seed. Go plant it right now. Remember that janitor from earlier? He wasn't a genius, and he never claimed to be one. He simply put away a small amount of money, month after month, year after year, and never stopped. That's the whole secret. Wealth doesn't require intelligence. It requires patience and consistency. So what does enough mean for you? Drop your answer in the comments below. I genuinely want to know. And if this broke down something useful for you, subscribe. Because next time, we're cracking open another best-selling book.